What's up? What's up? And thank you for tuning into the Lovely Perspective. Every Thursday, you will hear me read out a question or for advice or just a commentary from someone that I think is important to highlight on this channel. If you would like to submit your own question, the link is below. It is completely anonymous. I will not know none of your business. I won't even know your name unless you decide to tell me. Okay. And just because you submit a question or a comment does not mean it will be read on this channel. Understand that you are submitting, giving me permission to use your commentary or your question. All right. But I'm going to read this one and I'm going to give my perspective, hence the name Lovely Perspective, from a psychoanalytical or a sociological standpoint. Or maybe I'm just going to give you the real. Whatever it is, however I take it, I'm going to give it back to you. All right. So it says, I am a 26-year-old nurse. Okay, 26-year-old nurse working in a predominantly white area in Georgia. I specialize in NICU. Okay, for anybody who that is small babies. Okay, babies who were premature or came out with some kind of issue medically. I keep running into racism, mostly with the head nurse. She never grants my time off, gives me the hardest rounds. Overheard her talking about how I make my rounds to another nurse and heard her talking about my hair. I have occasionally worked with parents who did not want me to treat children on at least 4 occasions within the last 2 years. Damn, you been a nurse that long? Hey, damn, how long? When you stop? Wait a minute. How you a nurse from 24? You started being a nurse? Is that about right? It could be. Because if you graduated at 17 and started saying, all right, I give you that. It's a little questionable because I only be knowing nurses be in their 30s and stuff. And just that's me being judgmental. I'm sorry. And of course, I'm not editing this one. I'm just going to put it out raw. I don't have time this week. That's why if you watch my channel Tuesday, you miss an episode because I ain't even had time to edit. I've been creating. I just ain't had time to edit. All right. So anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. But she said she wanted parents who did not want me to treat children on at least 4 occasions within the last 2 years. I am experiencing a different type of burnout. Damn. I dread going to work every day. I'm even thinking about getting out of nursing. Right? I am only writing this because I think it should be a topic to highlight for you. I know it's not much advice you can give me, okay, that I may not already know or thought for myself, but I am open to hearing how you approach this topic. I love how you dissect so many of these issues. I haven't really talked about racism in the workplace before, so that's pretty good. Hold on, let me lead this up. First? I always, of course, I need to think about if I've ever experienced racism in the workplace because that's one of the primary ways for me to see if I can, just I guess relate, for lack of a better word. But I guess that is the best word. But first of all, kudos to you for being such a young nurse. Getting to your education, getting to the bag. I'm not mad at that. I see you here in Georgia. Well, sis, why you don't just come where all the black people at? Where's more black people? I have questions about that. If you just feeling like you want to get out of nursing, is it just because of this experience, or is it just something also that is primarily related to nursing? Because if you just feel like you just tired of nursing in general, then that's a whole nother topic. But if it's just because you're experiencing racism, and it might be because you are so young too, that is starting to inform what you feel like your experience is going to be everywhere, but your experience won't be that way everywhere, especially being that you're in Georgia. If you don't come down to Atlanta or just move to an area that's more mixed, where you don't have to feel like you're so alone. And also, that's speaking of that, is there any other nurses that are black inside the building that you know? Talk to them, see if they're sharing the same experience. I see you said it's mostly with the head nurse, but maybe you might be the only black one in your department. I don't know what they call it, in NICU. But if you are not, then you definitely need to talk to another nurse. And if you are, talk to another nurse in a different area. see if they're going through some of these same things. Because if it's across the building, this is a case. And in these cases, yes, you need to lawyer up. We all as Black people have to start using the system against the system, because of course, it doesn't always go our way, but sometimes it does. And you will be surprised if we really paid attention to how many times that it does go our way, because we always want to highlight the times that it doesn't. So I say, make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you investigate. Question these people. Don't be so sloppy and messy about it if you do it. Just be discreet. But you got to find a way to communicate with other people in the building and see if this is a shared experience. If it is the head nurse, I don't know how y'all operate in the hospital setting. The medical field ain't my judge, but all I do is watch Grey's Anatomy. But no, seriously, go to HR if you can. I know a lot of people don't like going to HR, but I don't understand why you haven't. Maybe you have, because you say there's no advice I can give you that you may not already know or thought of for yourself. So I'm just still pondering, because you gave me this topic and I just have still advice and questions. Kind of made me feel a little bit limited there. But okay, so let's talk about just a little bit before I get off here. I'm gonna spend a few minutes talking about um racism in the workplace. Like I said, I haven't directly experienced it to an extent where it was somebody ahead of me. It's been linear. Like, it's been somebody who's on the same level as me. And even when I was younger, I experienced unblatant racism in front of me. And I was like early 20s and I didn't know how to approach the situation. And I was drunk. And it was a work trip, but it wasn't during work. It was a social. It was a lot. So, young white boys called another Black dude a nigger, but he said with it, not the R. I said the R, but he said a nigger. He called him a nigger, and it was very uncomfortable. And I was sitting in the front seat. He wasn't my dude or nothing. I was just sitting having to be in the front seat. I don't know. It's just something that young me and old me trying to reconcile with each other, because it was very strange. Everything that happened was so strange and very uncomfortable. You felt how uncomfortable it all was. Anyway, but moving forward from that, I also experienced some racism from a white lady. That wasn't racism towards me, that first event, but it was just kind of work related, kind of not. I've experienced racism with a white lady. I can't really readily recall what set her ass off or what the topic of the discussion was. I was supposed to do something. I don't know if it was because it was a commission based job. So sales was based on commission. You sold something, you got to put it under your own name so you can get commission for it. So I don't know if it was that. I kind of don't know. I don't think it was, but it had to be something work related, and the environment was slightly competitive. So she got mad because I was able to do something that she wanted to do. Or so I'm cool. I play my role. I'm a player everywhere. So I play my role. And she said something about my hair. I had locks then, just like I have locks now. And I just looked at her. Ugly ass white bitch. Ugly. I don't even like to call a lot of people ugly, but when you act ugly and you ugly, bitch, you ugly. Oh, and I just looked. And the manager called her immediately. I don't even know if he heard what she said. I just kept it play up because I I don't like having to deal with it. And I'm never a pussy. But there are gonna be times where, especially like in a professional setting, and I don't never show my ass when it comes to people just doing certain racist things, because it's almost as if they are looking for you to respond. And I know a lot of people would think, oh, well, that's pussy. Depending on what it is, like if you just calling me an N word to my face, I'm gonna pop your ass. To be honest, now that's where I draw the line. But when you're saying like being microaggressive or trying to make a racist joke, or it's just, I'm gonna check it. Beginning, I was young then too. I was real young then too as well. I'm gonna check it, but I'm also going to not even blow up about it. Because I'm just tired. Like, I'm too tired to react so negatively to it all the time. It's going to be so exhausting if every time I hear something racist, I got to blow up about it. It's not funny, but really think about it. If as much racism is going on in this world, if every time I hear something racist or I go through something racist, if I got to blow up about it every time, bitch, I'll be looking aged as fuck already. I'm too tired already spiritually to even have to do so much. But here we are. And these are things that are typical. And I'm not trying to make light of it, but as a black person, it's typical. You're going to get the microaggressions. You're going to get the anti-blackness. You're going to get the preferential treatment of the others that is blatant, and the oppressive or dismissive treatment because you're black. It's typical. I know. I know. It's not something that we want to keep hearing. I promise. I don't want to keep talking about it. I don't want to keep going through it. I'm just as tired. White people, we're just as tired of talking about it as y'all are fucking hearing it. But you want to know what we're even more tired of? Going through it. I just made a video talking about the Nolan Wells case. I'm not going to get too far into it because you're going to watch the video, right? But it's not why do we always accuse. It's why do y'all always do. I wouldn't accuse you if you didn't always do it. This goes for white people. Hell, it goes for almost everybody now. So, okay. I know. Racism. Everything right now is we're talking about racism. And it's just want to say it's just kind of funny that this is brought up in a time where a lot of racial tension is bubbling to the surface in the media and just in general in life. And we have to pay attention and we have to ask these questions and we have to go through the motions and we have to understand that when you are going to be one of the only black people in the room, understand the discomfort that is going to come with it. And I said in the previous video that I recorded, this was at the time of this is great. I said that if you're going to be the only black person in the room, make sure it's only in a professional setting. But again, know what comes with it. And before you let somebody, I'm going to end with this friend who sent me this question. Before you let somebody run you out, trick you out your bag, trick you out your dream, because you probably always wanted to be a nurse. Being that you so young and you're a nurse, like you probably always wanted to be a nurse. Probably most or your entire life. Don't let anybody trick you out your dream. Period. Go somewhere else. Go where you are loved and wanted. But do what you got to do first, because what you want to do is make it so that nobody else goes through what you went through. Leave breadcrumbs, if you will. Put the paperwork in motion. If they do something about it, then great. If they don't, I'm sorry, but the paperwork is in motion. So at least if it's a pattern of behavior, eventually it'll catch up. Sometimes it takes so much of time. I know it's unfair. The system fucking sucks. It's not built for us. But you gotta still try to use the system against them, because there's some times where we do win. Let's not focus on the times that we don't, because it's not all the time. Even though it might feel like few and far in between. So that's all I gotta say. I feel like that was a good one. I love you guys. Again, I'm about to post this so raw. I don't have time to edit nothing, y'all. Oh my God, please. I'm gonna get to it though tomorrow. Love y'all. Bye.